Don't you know that I'm locked and unloaded? You're out of focus. Get ready for the fallout. Can't stop me now. I got no rival. I'ma fight my way through the blood and pain, game of survival. Anytime or place, watch 'em run away. I got no, I'll be standing on my own, never
welcome back everybody to Titans of Tier 3. My name is Edu. I am joined again, and for the first time here at any event, is Lash. Lash, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling quite nice today. Got back into the role yesterday with some good play-by-play casting. It's good to get into a little bit of color, expand my horizons a little bit. How are you doing on this beautiful day?
Well, it's a busy day for me. Woke up early in this morning to make sure I had some other stuff done, and it's been all right. It's a very clear sky today here in Phoenix, so there's not a lot of weather to worry about. But, looking at what is going to be weathering these teams, it's two teams on the chopping block for us today. And I got to ask, are you ready to see these guys duke it out? Because I know you casted over Sizzle Esports yesterday. So what can we expect from this team?
Well, from what I was able to see, a lot of the players in there, Externo, Cairo, they have a lot of potential and they have an insane amount of team chemistry that goes into every single play that they make. I'm expecting great things out of Sizzle today. And if I'm not mistaken, they are playing Chosen Ones, which I believe have a pretty good rap. I believe they can throw down pretty hard. So I think we're in for a great match today.
Yeah, I've seen Chosen Ones compete before. I'm not sure if this is the exact same roster, but they're doing all right. They're a kind of team that I want to see really be able to showcase its skill today. Sorry, my dog just decided to go on an adventure. But as Chosen Ones is a team that is probably the most seasoned out of this roster and lineup today. I'm pretty excited to see how they're actually going to be able to duke it out. But we're going to be jumping straight on in to our first map. That's going to be Ascent. Now, Ascent, it's everybody's either you hate it or you love it kind of map. It's the Inferno, in my opinion, of Valorant. Not the Dust 2, because Dust 2 at least has some funny moments. No, this is Inferno. Not exactly as fun, but we're going to be jumping straight on in with these picks. Now, what can we expect from this kind of lineup? Already something a little bit off meta from this team of Sizzle Esports.
Well, one thing that Sizzle Esports like to do, especially yesterday, is just hover a bunch of out-of-pocket agents and then immediately lock in. A typical team composition that you'd see come out of here. But what we might see is a potential double duelist. They don't really go for the double dive, but you see Cairo hovering for that Yoru. Yoru did come out yesterday on Icebox, which was a little bit of a switch up there. But from the Chosen One side, we have Kodo going for the Cypher. A little bit off meta pick, because normally you'd have Killjoy, especially on that B site. Got Raizu on Sky. We got a Viper, Chop on the Jet, Calpie on the Omen. A pretty typical setup, but I mean, a little bit off meta. You typically see a KO in the place of that Viper, or maybe even throwing in a Sova. A little bit of an off meta comp, but definitely has a lot of capabilities here. And we're seeing a little bit more of a traditional comp coming out of Sizzle Esports there, besides the hovering chamber.
Yeah, looking at Sizzle Esports, this is the meta pick. The only difference that I would expect is maybe a Brimstone sometimes if, you have a team that wants to go real aggro, but Brimstone versus Omen, I mean, Omen and Brim, they're very common on Ascent, but looking at Chosen One map pick and their hero selection, it's odd, very off meta with a double controller. Very rare that you're going to be seeing that. If you do see that on Ascent, it's usually an Omen plus a Harbor Viper, so that's what we do get to see. So as close to what you can expect from a double controller, but double controller is not the strategy on Ascent. Usually it's double initiator, which we're seeing from Sizzle Esports, but it's Chosen Ones we're talking about here. These guys have a name that might scream that they want to win this with some interesting plays. Obviously, it's a best of 3 today, so it's not going to be just your one and done. It's going to be more so a test of might, which team is going to be able to do the most damage. But I actually really like the Sky pick. Obviously Sova on Ascent makes a lot more sense, but Sky versus KO, I'd rather have the Sky every time. The healing factor, the dog for info, it's just a better pick in my opinion, but we'll see how it jumps into here as we load into this game.
Yeah, but we also have to consider Maki's on Sizzle Esports was throwing down yesterday on the KO. Knows the ins and outs, like how to peak flash timings, knows a ton of lineups for nearly every single map. I even saw on Ascent a couple lineups that they got going, and they're kind of nasty. Some of them you'd see typically, the Boathouse flash lineup on B main. And also a little bit of a cheeky lineup on A to flash them out of heaven, but they know how to play KO and they know how to play KO well. So it's really gonna come down to which team is gonna be able to play the players at the higher level. What kind of big brain plays are they going to come out with? What kind of like mind games are they going to do? Because that's what it comes down to when you start getting into higher levels of play, is how well are you going to be confusing the other team? But we're hopping right into the match here with a pretty spread default for both of these teams.
Yeah, looking at this, it is going to be, temporary right now in the spread. I don't think that they're actually going to be touching any of these sites as we have a player disconnecting. So I think that, having the Cypher and the Viper lurking on attack makes sense. This is a very, Sentinel heavy strat. If you are going to be on a Cypher, if you are going to be on a Viper, you're going to want to be behind people more than you're in front of them. And that's kind of the play style by splitting it off. The problem with that, though, is not having a Cypher trip to watch this flank. They could get pushed up through mid. There's a lot of problems there. But I want to ask you this. If we do see this KJ reconnect, which team is favored right now in your eyes as for who wins the pick selection?
Who win? I would say, based on like the current meta of Ascent and how many teams play around it, I'm going to have to put my money on Sizzle Esports. They have a very reliable team composition. Chosen Ones, they are a little bit off meta, especially with that double controller setup going into the attacking side. And Cypher can cover. Cypher is able to cover some good flanks with those trap wires, but isn't able to hold as much map control passively as Killjoy is able to with the alarm bot and the turret. So I'm gonna have to say that Sizzle Esports comes out on top in terms of picks this game.
Yeah, Sizzle Esports, I think, it's the meta pick. Meta pick usually means that they win, but, this brings me back to a LAN event that I casted last month over at the Funhaver Invitational, Dreams to Legends. That team pulled out a very unique pick. It was a lot of interesting rock-ins with Gecko. You saw Gecko, Fade, Yoru. It was a odd pick for Ascent, and yet they made it work. They 13-2'd the team that they were going up against. So very impressive to watch that kind of gameplay. But looking at this, I think that even if it is off meta, double controller isn't too crazy. What is crazy, though, is having a, non-Killjoy. The lockdown is just so good on this map.
I mean, yeah, the lockdown is very good on this map, but it's starting to get a little bit worse in terms of B site because it creates a lot of like lights through walls, and especially since it's typically on a massive Odin meta on Ascent because a lot of the walls are basically made out of paper mache. So you get that B main, you get an Odin in there, they try and put down the lockdown, you're going to get a spray through the wall, and it's going to get taken down for no ultimate trade. Normally it's a Brimstone using the orbital strike, the Sova's Hunter's Fury taking it down. But I mean, on B site specifically, lockdown's basically useless because you can shoot it through every wall.
Right, but there is one point on B that you can actually put it down, and that's going to be right in front of the switch boat. If you put it right there, it actually cannot be wall banged, and that gives you full control if you already have control over B main, market, and spawn. So if a team is playing on site, it's a guarantee to take that. If you do want to use it to execute as an attacker, though, that's where it comes into a little bit of a rough position, but you still can put it down in a place that won't get broken, especially if you want to put it on top of the box, but before the very top of the box where the ultimate orb is. If you put it there, it's not going to get any bit of damage taken unless people push it, and that already gives you advantage. If you have people coming to you, you're going to be happy about that. So I think, Killjoy lockdown is probably the stronger utility, but people have been arguing that Cypher's ultimate is broken right now. Information is key, okay? If you have what G.I. Joe taught us, that knowing is half the battle, Cypher knows all. That guy's got a 6 ultimate charge, and he just gets all the info. 2 times, even if he gets killed, it still goes off. It's really strong right now. Thank God there were some buffs, but looks like we are going to be jumping into this game.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but the neural theft was buffed so that it was buffed recently so that it can get any corpse no matter when it was taken down in the lobby.
Yeah, this is the buff that happened to it. It used to, when you kill Cypher during his ultimate, it would no longer activate. It also had a cooldown, but as we're getting in here, it looks like we're already having some shots fired. Kodo grabbing a first blood here. Might say second. No, Lazy Chop is going to chop his way right through World and sets it up for a great hold here on the A site. But just because they have the site with no damage taken doesn't mean that they're not going to take any more damage, as this is a bomb planted, and hopefully we can see something, but that Viper has a plan of their own. Nice double kill down. I mean, they're working it out. Another pick here from Maki's, and
One
this is
enemy
actually now
remaining.
2v1 with a trade-off. Raizu able to get that pick, but as good as this Omen did, it's not good enough.
Yeah, and that really started as soon as all the abilities were traded back and forth on the A main. They broke through that pressure and they just squeezed Sizzle off the site, pushing him back farther into heaven, closing that off into garden. They were just able to delay enough with mollies and smokes to get that spike down and reposition for that post plant. It really comes down to just the timing of it all. They had perfect execution, perfect timing, and their aim was on point enough. And going into the next round, we're seeing a pretty good buy coming in. We got a Sheriff, full shield, Bulldog, and the new Outlaw, as well as another Bulldog. Ooh, and a Guardian there, picked last second, and still a Sheriff in hand. But I'm going to see some pretty aggressive plays coming out here from Chop with the Outlaw.
Yeah, this is a new weapon, but 140 damage to the body. That's what it
down
does.
A.
Easy kill. That's why you have to make sure that either you go no armor. Light armor is not even an option anymore nowadays. But with the bomb now planted, it's going to be a repeat, a pistol round. But wait a minute. This time we have two people on the flank, the Omen and the Jet. Right up to this Viper. Oh, come on, Viper. You got this. You can't be cooking like this.
Just peeking around the corner, just waiting for it. And there's a double swing.
One enemy
And there's
remaining.
a flick. Good shot. One left. It's just going to be the Silva sitting at a garden and going right into an outlaw. And we can know what that does. Honestly, I'm surprised that it was only one outlaw. This team did not really want to, opt in for more than that. The penetration power on a map like Ascent, pretty strong. But here's the answer to that. We got all of the AKs online.
Yeah, all the Vandals coming out, light shield and full shield. Those light shields are going to be very vulnerable to that outlaw, as it does do 145 damage to the body. That's an insta-kill for them. I think the outlaw was just a nerf to the light shield meta as a whole, making them always scared, especially with the cost of the outlaw. I mean, it does have a 2.3 second reload time, but it's still a very powerful weapon, and there's 4 people getting scanned out. Rest of them by the Sova Recon Dart, but they are not giving up. They are just going straight in, and Chop is getting aggressive.
Oh, this is looking good from Chop. But how are we going to touch on the site? There we go. Dash straight on in. Beautiful blink, and that's going to help them out with the damage. But unfortunately, defense. They stacked this site for a reason, but that reason might be ill-found. Another great round here from Attack, but they're not done. This, of course, Chosen One's time to shine. They don't have the meta pick, but they have all of these frags. Now, Cairo approaching slowly but surely, might be able to touch up, but nope, it's just going to be shut down by Chop. And this guy's going skin shopping right now, and now they're on the hunt. They want to find this Jet.
Yeah, I mean, crazy. Just left alone here, and he's just on Cat and Garden, kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and that hard place is indeed the entirety of Chosen Ones, and it's going to be a tough spot. It's going to have to opt for a save here. Great bonus round from Chosen Ones here. Might be able to get one pick. Isn't able to find the second. As SRL man, I don't know how to pronounce that name, but oh, just barely dodging that, and being able to take away 4 rifles going into the next round. An absolute amazing bonus round from Chosen Ones, immediately putting Sizzle Esports back onto a save, and crazy opting to go for that brand new outlaw. Cannot wait to see the kind of skins that can come out for that gun later on. But we are seeing a ton of sheriffs being bought as well. But Maki's also opting to go for a sheriff. Oh, it was just switched to a marshal.
Oh, okay.
I promise I'm not crazy.
Toxins going up.
Got it. All right, so let's see.
Looks like they're opting for a lot of. Looks like they're opting for a lot of mid control here, and Kapai's gonna be able to draw first blood.
Wow, great pick from them, but let's see what else they can do. We have one player back on site. Cairo needs to hold this down, but there's no guarantee if they can't just hold it back. A big fight happening over by Tree and Catwalk, but no real damage except for World with that Sheriff able to grab Cowpie. That's one of the 2 smokes down, and if they don't have that control, well, which site are they going to be trying to take over? It looks like they still want B thanks to Chop's opening, but look at this rotate. They might have a fight pizza cooking up.
Yeah, and here's Cairo on the backside, one of the MVPs from yesterday. He's gonna try and hold it down, but Chop is just laying it down today, able to find 3 in their spawn, leaving only Cairo alive on site.
Wow.
And there's the finishing blow from Kodo, a near flawless round from Chosen Ones.
Yeah, what we're seeing right now from Chosen Ones is definitely a lot more confidence on this map. if you can twist the main meta, then that means you have to understand it to a T, and these guys are proving that. Beautiful job from them. So let me ask you this, Lash. What do you think this defensive team needs to change to start putting some rounds on their name?
If they really want to start putting rounds on their name, they have to buddy up. They got to play off each other, and they have to start getting those trades, because as soon as they're able to trade back and forth and like equalize the numbers, they're going to have a significantly better chance at taking those rounds out. I mean, crazy being able to draw first blood there. First time Sizzle has been able to draw first blood this round, but Cowpie just from the shadowing right into the back. Just finding him, and there's the neural theft coming out as well. Cowpie only down to 30 HP, and now it's time for them to get on site, and there goes the spike plant.
Ooh, Spike now down. This is going to be a tough retake, but they have exactly what they need. Looks like spotting out the Viper. World might be able to swing in time, but no, instead just gives him the cold shoulder taken and sprayed through right through the corner of the door. Wait a minute. Defense need to touch up, and based off of what you said, they have to do something different than they have been. Let's see that cooking, but no, they're gunned down. And we're seeing getting one, but it's over. It's just going to be down to
Cairo again.
He's DC.
Oh, and I think Cairo's got a disconnection problem once again, just like at the beginning of the game. And we might be looking at a tech pause after this one.
Not ideal.
Definitely not ideal. Wasn't even in for that last part of the round. Didn't get a gun by. Didn't get anything. Yeah, it looks like we're probably going to have to get a tech pause, as we are seeing that disconnection on the leaderboard there.
All right, well, let me see.
We've talked about kind of my idea for what Sizzle needs to change up here, but what do you think needs to happen coming out of Sizzle going into the next couple of rounds to try and equalize going into the second half?
Well, as of right now, they've had quite a few issues going into, just the way that they hold sites. It's been a lot of people being picked off in odd angles. You had a player picked off in mid-peats. You have a player picked off on catwalk. Defense is getting picked off anywhere but the site. So when it comes to their job on Ascent, you have to default your style. And that's to not play so aggressive. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that aggression's going to be good. Looks like it wasn't with these trade-offs that are coming out, but World makes it worth it with that real pick here. But unfortunately, with Cairo disconnecting, the main thing they need to figure out is their internet.
Yeah, the main thing that they need to figure out is how to get their fifth player back in the round. It's turning into one of those full tilt competitive matches where just one person leaves randomly. You never know if it's Wi-Fi problems or their rage quit, but now it's down to a 2v1, not including Cairo, of course. That's the Viper from Chosen Ones, who has the spike in hand. This is the first time in a while that Sizzle Esports has been on top in terms of man advantage. They were able to get those trades across. They did change up something, and that was a 4v5 that they handled down to a 2v1. That's kind of impressive, especially considering the last couple of rounds. And there's the Viper wall going up, trying to just gain entry into the B site, but kind of making it obvious that that's the plant spot that they're going for. Externo and World both have their ultimates online, ready to go, from the Shadows and the Hunter's Fury. And now it's down to see how they're going to pull off this retake here. They have to play off each other if they want to make something happen.
Oh, this is not timing. World here just is the whole world for their team, absolutely carrying them off. That triple kill from the double kill down in mid, from the final kill there, from the utter disrespect he's doing to Omen's face right now. He's just being able to put it to the man, stick it to the man there. But let's talk about the main man, Cairo. Having that player disconnect and your team still able to win it, maybe that proves that there is some dead weight on the Sizzle's team here. But Chosen Ones, they're okay with losing one because they have so much money. They're just going to be going right back into it.
Yeah, I mean, half the team having full buy. I mean, Chop, 9,000 credits. The Viper, 9,000 credits. If somebody could help me in how to pronounce that name, that would be fantastic. But, I mean, they all running into this with absolute full credits, and Chop opting to go for that operator this round, feeling very, very confident in terms of control in that map space, and opting to go for that mid control while Sizzle Esports is down a player is probably the smartest move that they could have made. And I'm still a little bit confused as to how Cairo's player keeps spawning, or the player model keeps spawning in every round since they've disconnected. But we have the Viper pit online for whenever they choose to get onto B site. And there's the Aldron coming in, trying to get some spray through the wall. Gets a little bit of chip damage. But they got to switch this up, and they have to play off each other really, really well, and they have to draw first blood if they want a chance at winning these next couple of rounds.
Well, they did get first blood. There it is now opening up. We're seeing some rotations
Get
come
out of my
through.
way.
This bait coming out from
Toxins going
Viper
up.
is absolutely perfect. This snake in the grass is just doing exactly what it needs to do, just poisoning the enemy's mental. But with the bomb now getting planted on B, Viper is still biting, being able to take out the Omen. That is their sole controller. But wait a minute. Only 3 knives remaining, Chop. Doesn't even matter if Kodo's going to bring you up, but that is Viper getting traded off, and now it's a 1v4. So not really a lot of opportunity here. This might be an FF from this
enemy
team if they
remaining.
can't get Pyro back in, and I'm a little bit disappointed because you gassed this player up so much as one of the hardest hitters on this team from yesterday.
Yeah, I feel like it's another caster curse moment. It's like I gassed him up because he did so well yesterday, especially playing controller and sentinel. I mean, it's kind of just, it's kind of backing me off right now. It makes me look like I don't know what I'm talking about. But it does come down to internet issues, and it is an unfortunate situation for Sizzle Esports, especially since they were only able to get 1 point on the board. And then there is the timeout we've been waiting for to try and figure something out. They're talking about what they have to do to switch it up because they still have those internet problems coming in from Cairo. But what do you think they're talking about other than, hey, can we get this man back in the match?
I think what they need to talk about is we are down a player, even if he reconnects, how much is he actually going to be able to do for us? Let's act as though we're a 4v5. How do we play around that? Well, it's defense side, so you're going to have to play 2 per side and hope that nobody shows up mid. You don't have a sentinel that can anchor properly. And so in that moment, go for retakes. This is a very aggressive team. KO, Jet, Omen, Silva. That is perfect for retaking. And 4v5 retakes happen all of the time. These teams have practiced for it. But what they need to do is they need to start defaulting, try to burn a lot of the attack util. And if they can do that, well, then they should have a decent shot at bringing this back, regardless of if Cairo is able to figure out why their PC decided not to work. And listen, we all have been there. We all have technical problems. So we can't really blame Cairo. If a team cannot pick themselves up by the bootstraps when they're down by 1, then what happens when one of them gets picked off early in the round? Do they just lose? They have to have an answer to this.
Yeah, and it also comes down to like the information gathered by having that extra player. Even if they do get taken down, yes, it's going to be a 4v5 retake a lot of the time. But I mean, that's just kind of how it is. But going into this, I mean, you lose 1 player on a start. Now it's an instant 3v5 retake. But it seems like Sizzle's getting a little bit confident here, just rushing into the spawn.
Got your trail.
Where their tech was supposed to be, and Externo taking out Cowplug right off the bat. Oh, World following up on the chop. Now it's down to a 3v4.
I mean, this is the kind of stress that you need to do when you're down players. You have to get aggressive and you have to take space without having much info. But they're still going to get the picks, but it's not going to work out too well as long as the Viper can cook. 1v1 to clutch this up, and it's going to be Externo to get it down. 3x to their name, 1 kill to the game, and that's defense taking their 2nd round here. And again, they know how to play around not having a person.
Yeah, and then there it is, the timeout from the Chosen Ones. Not really sure what kind of stuff they're going to be talking about. They are kind of slamming, but they got caught off guard a little bit. They got caught on their back foot that last round. Didn't expect that much aggression out of Sizzle Esports, especially since they're a man down right now. But looking at the ultimate economy, they both have the From the Shadows, and the Chosen Ones do have that Viper's Pit. The 2 control their ultimates online, ready to go. But Sizzle, they have the Null Command, a Hunter's Fury, and another for the Shadows. They are ready to go. They have a little bit of an advantage on the ultimate economy, especially with that Null Command from KO being able to shut down all utility usage within a very, very long distance. Especially those Cypher tripwires can be absolutely crucial in keeping them in the game. But what do you think that the Chosen Ones are talking about? What do you think that Sizzle Esports are talking about in this timeout as well?
Well, they know that this team has found a strategy that works against them, and that's to be very aggressive. If you are still planning on winning this game out, like outright, well, you can't give them any room to work with. You have to punish them regardless of how bad sportsmanship that may be if a teammate is missing for their team. Wait, just be patient. Patience is a virtue on Ascent. It's why this is the map with statistically the most amount of overtimes, the longest amount of rounds. This is the map where you can just sit back, relax, because everyone's going to rush you, and you have a double pseudo sentinel build going over on B. It's going to benefit if you just wait. Oh my god, Omen just TP's back in for the easy kill. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then there's World getting able to get 1, but Chop and Cowpie. Oh my gosh, the knife from Cowpie.
You TP it in onto the Cairo. It's not really that shocking, but it's just like, you didn't have to waste an ultimate to kill an AFKer.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit of a waste. Not really sure what to think of that. Cowpie kind of just disrespecting the entirety of Sizzle Esports like that, but now down to a 3v3. It's tied up in terms of players. They still have 2 ultimates online for Sizzle. Ready to go. And Chop just easing their way in with that spike, going for that B site, and Kodo just waiting for a rotate. But the entirety of Sizzle Esports is just waiting in spawn for anything to happen, and there it is. There's the null command coming out, shutting down all utility, and Crazy just going in quick, but Kodo shuts it down as Maki finds it, and then Kodo puts it off. This is Sterno can take that as well, up to 7 and 2 now going into round 10.
Wow. Now, 2 to 7, these guys are able to really be able to push these players back. So I think at this stage of the game, you know, who do we blame? Who do we blame for how this is going? Honestly, I think we blame World for getting enough kills to keep 2 rounds in their team. But at the end of the day, Attack knows that they have to sweat this out. It's a group stage. You have to get your placements. If you win 2 and lose none, you're going to be a high seed team. That guarantees you into the playoffs. Bottom 18 moving into a play-in stage. You know, there's a little bit of money on the line here. So you want to make sure that you get pretty far ahead in this giant 32-team round robin. But looking at these guys, they're doing some damage already mid. And Cowpie, do it again.
Oh, with the drop shot. Oh, the drop shot. Externo's able to fire back with 2 of their own, but Kodo now down to a 1v3 here. It's not looking very good for World.
1 enemy remaining.
It's everybody against the World, and that's the finisher out right there with Kodo disrespecting Kairo's unmoving body, and then there's the knife to finish it off. 8 and 2. Man, these guys they really got to get their internet problems fixed. They still have 2 minutes of tech pause time remaining, and they're just not using it. It seems like they've lost all hope about Cairo coming back in. It's unfortunate going 0 and 8, wasn't even able to secure anything, but let's say they get back in. That's 9,000 credits ready to be used right off the bat. Could definitely save the team, especially since the economy is not getting beefed out with them, because normally in an unrated match or a comp match, you'd see if a player disconnected, their body wouldn't spawn in, and the team would get shield or money going into the next round. That would help them out.
Game, though.
Yeah, but it's a custom game.
I can't use that.
Exactly. So it's an unfortunate situation for them, but they do have a lot of fight. But Chop! Oh my god!
That was just a clean, just 1-2 tap. And now they're going to be hunting down here. I mean, easy pick for them. And you know, you said, is this player Cairo going to come back with 9,000? Well, looks like someone's going to come back. But one thing I do need to see is, even if this player reconnects, it's the last round. It doesn't really matter how much money they have. But if they reconnect right after, right as the pistol round starts, all this money doesn't even matter. But what a flick. Wow. Great flick. Glad that they're treating this poor KJ as just an aim labs target. Like, that's all they're doing to it. But it's the last round. More than likely a 10-2. We're seeing double outlaw, though. That could do something.
Double outlaw could definitely help out, but against full shield, you still have to get that double tap. Double tap from ISO. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't seen an ISO come out in the series just yet, but double outlaw, light shield. We could see something funny happen here. We got Makis and Crazy on the snipers. I've seen them do pretty decent things, but I don't want to cast a curse other than Cairo. Please come back. I don't want to be wrong. There's the flash, and Chop is going in.
And when Chop goes in, he goes hard. Now we're going to see the 3rd kill for him. You know it's going to be free. That's just going to keep moving it up. And you know, surprisingly, I will say, this team has not used any ultimates, but World might be able to build up one. No, it's over. But look at that. The entire half, they didn't use any ults except for Cowpie TPing behind them and knifing them in the back. So
I believe they used Seekers at some point. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think like Seekers, but nothing too aggro. They didn't use, like, they didn't plant the bomb and then pop the Viper's Pit, which they could have done like 3 times. They didn't really go for bomb plants. So at the end of the day, I think they realized we're going up against a team that is not prepared for us. So we don't have to go too crazy. We're not going to, you know, put our ultimates down. We're not going to play this like rats. We're just going to have fun.
Yeah, I mean, going like that and playing and having fun against a team that really can't fight back that well. Wait, hold on. I'm seeing ping on the side of Cairo, but still in spawn. Seems like it's still a disconnect there. But going up against a team that's down a player, they can't despawn. They're not getting any monetary help. It's unfortunate, but it's just kind of what happens. Stuff happens. We all have technical issues occasionally, but Externo firing off 2 right at the beginning, opening up the entirety of site.
You know, this is definitely not going to be great for Kairo's VLR stats. I can tell you that. But look at Cowboy. Might be able to find themselves a pick. Razu actually grabs Cairo down by getting extra aggressive into spawn. They're just going in for those free ultimate orbs. That's all that they're treating this guy with. But let's hope that they're going to be able to keep it moving. Crazy might be able to find some kind of pick here. And this is
Trying to go
pretty
for
much
that wall
set up
there.
for attack.
One enemy
Yeah, they're actually
remaining.
going to clean it up. Good luck.
Yikes.
Oh, that's one.
Ooh, but Chop. Ooh, almost finding a second there.
Will find it. Just finds it easily. Come on, Chop. You can keep cooking. I mean, Chop has had such great aim. It's been unfortunate that we've only got to really see this aim be used on bots. But let's see how it's going to be able to be done in the future rounds here. As Chop, he has no time anyway, so he's really playing for fun. Yeah.
He's just kind of playing around. He's just gonna go eat the spike. Just have a
Defuse the
nice
spike.
time. And then there it goes. But Externo's gonna be taken with a little bit of extra money going into the next round. But Maki's holding that ghost and liking that Sovereign Sword. Good skin pack, I would say, from Maki's. And going into the second round of the second half here, we got 3 rifles being bought by Sizzle Esports, and hopefully this will give them a fighting chance against that Bucky, Stinger, and 2 Sheriffs coming out from the Chosen Ones.
I like that. I like how you phrased that. The fact that this team, yes, is down 7 rounds, but they have momentum. They won the pistol round. They have money from the bomb plant. They're good. But Lazy Chop, this is a guy who's insane with the aim, is going to go for some odd Bucky-style aggression over on A. Unfortunately for them, it is coming over to B right now. But yeah, no one's reconnecting. Cairo not coming back. 0 to 11. Very unfortunate for him. But one thing can be said for certain. It's that this attack team had won pistol 4v5, and they can win second round 4v5, and they can keep it going and win the game 4v5. But let's see how they actually work it out.
Yeah, and that knife just narrowly missing Kodo right there. Not able to take down any of that Cypher tech, and much less that Viper tech. It's just kind of a bad knife to miss there. And there comes the paranoia and the cyber cage that right there from Kodo, and it's not getting spotted out and getting backstabbed.
Spike down.
Being able to
B.
pick off a lot before finally getting traded out by Externo, leaving 2 alive, 3 alive still on site. And it's not looking good for Sizzle Esports here, but World isn't scared. World's going in.
One enemy remaining.
Oh my god, Chop, you can't be doing that to people. They're trying to enjoy whatever gameplay there is to be had left. But it's all right. Chop's going to keep it going. Not even bothering to pick up any of the vandals on the ground. There you go. Figuring out that you do have that as an option. And it's just going to die anyways. 3 to 11. My question is, does this team just FF in the second game? Or do they find a replacement for Cairo? Because this is a best of 3, not a best of 1. And I don't know how that's going to be flushed out later on. But I'm excited to see if they actually want to play this out. But if I were them, I would have given up 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, if I were them and I was in this position, I mean, look, they ended the half 10-2. They could have FF'd halfway through when they were down 7-1. But they're trying to put some things on the leaderboard, and they're able to find 3 rounds with only 4 players, which isn't bad overall. And it looks like they're opting to go for some Sheriffs, try and get a lot of nice aim. Got flash lineups going in as well, and just a lot, but it's not enough. Calpie, just knowing where Crazy's at, just mowing him down, but finally getting traded out.
One enemy remaining.
Yeah, it's just too evil to them. I mean, they tried, but I do want to remind everybody that even though that last round or the last 2 rounds have been 4 to 5, they had such an insane weapon advantage that it shouldn't have mattered. They were all going with Vandals and rifles versus a Bucky and a Sheriff. And they lose that. So at the end of the day, I mean, Chosen Ones, even though obviously there was that disconnected player, a lot of these fights, they should not be losing anyways. But Lazy Chops, just dominating them every time.
Yeah, just absolutely throwing down. And there it is once again, but Maki's able to find first pick onto Lazy Chop. That's the Caster Curse Glaze right there, and then Calpie. The Viper are able to pick up one as well, going all the way into spawn, finding Cairo there.
You can,
as you said, free ultimate orb. Now it's a 3v4, and there's an Odin in here from Kodo, and then there's Crazy peeking out up, and Kodo's gonna be able to find one. World able to find
Last
Kodo
player
right
standing.
back. Raizu able to find Crazy World against everybody, and he's not gonna be able to clean it
Defenders
up.
win.
wow. I just want to say that the way that Chosen Ones kind of disrespected them in that moment, we couldn't see it because Observer Nick didn't actually spot it out. But that Viper walked behind World the entire round, then walked into their spawn while staring at the back of World's head, and then was able to get the kill in the guy bear. But it looks like I'm listening to the teams. They're not happy that Cairo was did not show back up. A little bit upset from them. Hopefully that's not going to tweak their mental too much here. But as that is game one, figuring out how they're going to find a replacement, I don't know if it's going to be good enough for them. But I think they already do. I think they do have a replacement already.
They do have a replacement. I mean, that's good that they have a substitute that can come in, but the question is, how is that going to affect their mental, like having to pull in another player? I mean, they do have Eternal.
Yeah, but he's playing on 100 ping. So
that
that's might happen again.
That good. That's not good.
Yeah, no. They're working with what they got. If they need a sub, anyone in chat wants to sub out, trust me, you'll play better than Cairo did. So even if you're platinum, gold, silver, bronze, they're there. Here's some stats for you guys, by the way, if you ever wanted to see something disappointing. But overall, pretty solid gameplay from the Lazy Chop. I mean, he didn't really kill Cairo that much, so a lot of these kills are just absolutely dunking on World's view. But I don't know.
329 ACS against 4 players. I mean, that's still really good, but I mean, World really tried to carry Atlas with the world on his shoulders. This really was not looking good. I mean, going that, I mean, he didn't go that negative. He went 13 and 15, 264 ACS with 2 first bloods. Not horrible, but against Lazy Chop, I mean, 20 and 6. Those are some absolutely impressive numbers. I mean, it's really,
at the end of the day, you just have to be able to do some damage. And these guys tried. World did well enough on his own. But at the end of the day, if you're down a player, you're going to be down a whole map here. But with the replacement coming up, we'll be able to jump right back into this. I believe that we are going to send it to a quick break, getting everything set up. But then we should be right on back with gameplay on Icebox. Icebox back in the meta, back in the map pool. With a lot of changes.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes. So we're going to see how that kind of works out. And I think there's a lot of plays that involve Outlaws here on Icebox because there's a lot of long angles. I think it could be really cool to see how they pull the new gun into the new map changes. So we'll get right back to you guys after a quick break, and then we'll hop right into Icebox.
Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice, tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you break me, but something about it makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the cold. Oh, oh, oh.
And welcome back, everybody. A chilling result in map 1 leads us to an even more chilling map of Icebox coming up next. Unfortunately, with one player forgetting how to turn a PC on, not sure how he became pro, we're now going to see how a new player, Eternal, is going to be able to step in for him. But my name's Edu. I'm joined by Lash. It's Titans of Tier 3. It's a Tier 3 event, and we're watching some Tier 3 level gameplay. Let's hope that it's going to improve in our next map.
Yeah, I mean, going into Icebox here, it's going to be a little bit interesting. We have a lot of different plays and a lot of different team compositions that have been changing, especially from the new changes in Icebox. We're seeing a little bit more Yoru and a little bit less Jett, especially since the verticality of the map has changed so drastically, especially with all the open areas. But hopping right into the agent select here, it's going to be really interesting to see what these teams want to go for. I mean, we've seen a lot of or not very common team compositions. Already right off the bat, we're seeing Ryzu lock in that raise. So it's gonna be a little bit crazy, especially since Crazy's hovering that ISO. I think is gonna be a great pick. I love watching grid shot. So it's gonna be interesting.
Well, let's hope that Crazy hits some aim labs in between it, because I mean, not to be that guy or anything, but Crazy, 5 and 16 in game 1. So
they could use a little bit of aim training. Oh gosh, they're going double duelist.
Oh,
also chosen ones.
Here's something new. Icebox and Deadlock are just match made in heaven. You thought Sage was good on Icebox because of her wall. Deadlock's new wall is broken on this map. The amount of space you can just control with one of her walls is too strong. But looking at this, you have the Reyna, you have Lazy Chop. This time not on the duelist, instead on the Sova. Might be able to spice things up a bit, but I'm really going to be looking forward to what Eternal can bring. Hopefully a functioning PC. That's all this team needs to maybe get more than 3 rounds. So I'm really excited that they are, back on there. We do know that K-Row is going to be benched right now, but, as a bench warmer can be important in an esports org. Let's hope that these guys have their hands warm on Icebox, because you don't want to freeze over. Let's see if they have what it takes. But wait a minute. That's a Gecko Harbor Viper pick. Is this bind? Are they treating this like
Gecko
bind?
Harbor Viper? And by the way, I don't mean to cut you off here, but you know what's crazy is Crazy picking Chamber on Icebox. Chamber hasn't really been good on Icebox since the nerf came in to where he only has one rendezvous. So I'm really not 100% sure how this is going to work out here, Edu.
I don't know either. I think what I can expect is one team, especially the team with the Gecko, is going to be 100% focused on the pre-plant, getting themselves onto site. But they have nothing for post-plant. They don't have a Killjoy. They really are going to be relying on maybe Eternal's mollies and maybe Maki's if he saves a molly. Their post-plant's weak. And that's an understatement on how weak it is. So let's hope that they're going to be able to keep moving forward. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be easy for them. I think if they want to be taking this game, they're going to have to try their best to work around not only their very weak post plant, but the fact that their smoke advantage is, once it's used, they're kind of stuck on that site.
Yeah, and what I love about Tier 3 Valorant is there's 9 unique agent picks in this game right here. It is complete chaos. I mean, you're not going to see two players using the same abilities right off the bat, but oh my god, right, going in. A lot of blood being gone on both sides, down to a 3v3, and Spike's not even planted yet, and there he goes. Spike's finally going down.
Spike planted.
All right, well, I think they cook. I think they cook here.
I think they definitely cook here. I mean, chosen ones. 3 still alive, but it's World being able to draw that blood onto the Deadlock.
One enemy
And
remaining.
ooh, Lays Chop going right back at it. Nice one.
Last player standing.
Oh my god, is he teabagging? What is he doing? Why? He got his first kill of the past 30 minutes and he's teabagging. Come on, Crazy. You gotta do something better here.
Right, there's going to be a little bit of disrespect. You got to get the hype up, it's called the tilt debuff, the tilt debuff.
Listen, the only people that get to be toxic are bottom fraggers, because then it's funny. But if you're like middle of the row, average at best, you can't be toxic, Like myself, I can't be toxic. But let's see what these guys are going to be able to cook with. I think that if they have the opportunity to, it's going to be down to how they hold this. But what retake power does this team even have?
I mean, looking at I feel like the only retake power they really have is the Gecko and the Harbor being able to block off line of sight, as well as the Viper. But I feel like the KO doesn't really have very much retake potential besides the Null command going in with the rest of the team. But I mean, we'll see what they're gonna be able to pull out here as Calpie takes down Crazy. And man, those walls are huge. Deadlock is broken on this map, and there's Calpie finding another one, just going hunting at this point.
Wow, and they're not going to go hunting without at least taking home a nice Viper skin boot there. Look at that. Leaving only one left. It's going to be a guy with a classic, but that's an outlaw. And there's your brains on the wall. Good effort there. So attackers are taking yet another round here, but that's kind of expected. Now we get to see the buy round coming out. In Lash, I don't want to lash out at this team, but even with rifles, we saw that they still struggled against Buckies. So I'm not going to be going there yet, but the odds are forever not in their favor. And I want them to change that ASAP. But with Eternal Online already getting more kills than Cairo ever did, we're going to be seeing them try their best here.
Yeah, I mean, having a functional PC and a player behind it that is actually able to, you know, log in and get the internet working, it's going to be a little bit better on their end, but they're not making any progress. 2 rounds down right now, and Ryzu's just running in, ready to go, just saying, all right, time to execute, and there's the double duelist going in, just taking both sides of Coda finds one and just misses away. Doesn't get any health, but able to find a little bit there as Ryzu opens up the entire site, and then right as there, Eternal falls.
Oh, wow. There we go. What a pick. That's opening it up for a 2v4 retake, but the bomb now being planted. Look at this. He's not even trying to retake it, but what do you have to work with? Nothing.
I mean, they're working with animals here. We got World against everybody, everyone against the World. It's just him running away, wanting to try and save that Vandal. Throwing up Dizzy, trying to get the goo on everybody. 32 HP remaining. Still has Wingman, still has the Mosh Pit, but just completely hiding out. Going to be sitting back in this corner, just waiting for somebody to come by. But I mean, we might be seeing Lays Chop go from behind. And just getting caught out. And there's the spike detonation. They're just going hunting, and there it is. Calpie somehow shooting through the wall. Very interesting scenario we just saw from Calpie. Yeah, Calpie was over by a lobby. How did that happen?
You never know. Sometimes
we love Valorant. You know, sometimes things get a little bit confusing, but you know, things happen. But like, what do you think based off team composition, who's going to win this one out here, Edu?
Do you need an answer to that? I think
yes.
you know. I think you know. Okay. Easily chosen ones. It's in the name.
I'm more want to hear your thought process behind it. I'm wondering why you think different agent picks are better. I mean, we have 9 different agent picks on this map. Do you think that Sizzle Esports is just kind of throwing this for the memes at this point? Just throwing just random agent picks out there just because they can, because they don't have a duelist pick and it's just defense. Well, I mean,
okay.
Do you think they're just having fun here, or what do you think?
I mean, right now in the group stage, they're already in
One
a top
enemy
spot.
remaining.
So right now, they're really just messing around, learning the map of Icebox in a scrim setting. They're treating this like a really poorly managed scrim, which is understandable with currently their team playing like a poorly managed scrim. So what I can expect from this is hopefully their ability to maybe bounce back and learn something new. Maybe how to turn on a PC and give that information over to Cairo. But looking at everything else, or Cairo, I want to see something. I want to see something from these players to be able to work it out. Now, if you want my exact reason why I think this team is a throw, well, as I said earlier, they have no post plant. Their entire team is about getting onto site, but how do you defend a bomb? They have a chamber. It's not 2021. Why are you on chamber?
Yeah, I mean, there are some goofy picks. I've seen Chamber used on some maps in pro play, but there's crazy with that operator pick and external, able to find 2. Now down to a 5v3. They have the advantage now, but like, I think it really comes down to like, what is going on in the brains of Sizzle Esports? Are they going full tilt to the point of throwing team compositions? Or like what's the mental here as Lace Chop finally gets a pick?
Last player
The round, and Crazy is just going crazy. With the operator able to find 2 and almost clipping Lazy through the wall there and getting a little bit of chip damage, but it's not going to be enough. Has the chamber op online, ready to go if they so choose. Man, I mean, What is happening? Oh, there's Lazy Chop with a nice little flick, being able to take the knife, and now it's just Chop trying to cut the team into pieces one by one. It's just not looking good for him, but it's also not very optimal for Sizzle Esports as they're going up against an absolute titan with an aimbot.
I mean, he knows how to get the kills, but World is the one player that I know should be able to deal with that. And yes, World is still online, still able to get those picks. I will say congratulations to Crazy for getting a few. Now, Op in hand, this is what we need to see. If they have to use Op crutches to, you know, limp their way over that finish line, then so be it. Bring us into a map 3 if you can. But, you know, looking at this, based off of how they played that out, the Chosen Ones knows exactly what kind of mistake they made in that previous round, and that was just pushing with the bomb too aggressively against an op. So now they're not going to make that same mistake again, but they're still able to get a few kills. But Maki, I want to see if they're going to be able to, you know, start turning up the heat. But World is unpunished and gets a nice clean opening, and now it's the punishment.
Yeah, here comes punishment from Kodo, and Cowpie trying to get up as well. Now down to 2. Cowpie just throwing it down, able to find the third for the round, and just completely almost. Man, you know, if Raizu wasn't holding that boombot at the beginning, they might have got a flawless round there. Still 4 ultimates online, they haven't used it, but now thinking about it, I haven't seen a lot of Deadlock play on Icebox, but I'm now understanding, the more that I think about it, why Deadlock is absolutely crazy, especially on A site. Bouncing that ultimate off the ceiling could be absolutely insane, especially for post plant.
Yeah, also the upgrade to the net that Deadlock has, it has a much larger AoE now. So if you have that large AoE going on, it can lock down places like Snowman for free. It's that good. But we have a Thrash coming right on up, and it actually manages to hit nobody. And Lazy Chop, joined by the Deadlock, are just going to gun them down. So great aggression. Unfortunately, not the aim to back it up. World will be able to bring it eventually onto Lazy Chop. What is this? Kodo just...
One enemy remaining.
Just diving down in there.
Jumping at him.
It's the scare tactic. You know, it's run towards the bear, not away from it. You know, trying to just become a human flashbang. You know, the classic, hey, bait me, use me as a human flashbang. I'm low on HP. You know, it's a classic as old as CS:GO.
You know, it works. The only thing that I haven't seen successfully pulled off in Valorant competitive compared to Counter-Strike is when they fake op. Remember the fake op from Counter-Strike on Dust 2? Toss it over the door, or toss it over the window?
Oh,
you
yeah,
remember
yeah,
that? Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. We haven't seen someone toss an op to pick out a classic and get a kill. Hasn't happened yet. Will it happen? Valorant players might not be ambitious enough. But we have an ultimate. That's some ambition. Immediately catching out Eternal, the player that's supposed to be replacing. And now getting cooked up. Bye-bye. Let's see it. Another ultimate. They're just unleashing him on him.
Yeah, and able to find 3 picks in the mix as well, bringing it down to just Crazy and World here. And World's going to be able to find 1-2 on the Raizu. Now it's just putting some Sonic sensors, I feel like, are a little bit overrated. It really takes a lot to get a lot of use out of those. But there's Cowpie, but World concussed, able to find Cowpie right in the back with Kodo finding a third for the round. And we'll bring it up at 1-7. Wow.
I will say this though, Lash. World here has been playing it exactly how he needs to. He's going for KD. He doesn't really care that he's... I don't think we've seen one Dizzy land a blind. Like, have we seen any E from World?
I don't think... I mean, I've seen him throw out Dizzy more as like a stalling when running away, but I don't believe I've seen World use Dizzy.
He's not using it on a...
very much. He definitely
not
is going
on an
for
aggressive
KD.
way. He's going for KD. He's just having
wanting
fun.
to mess up his VLR, you know? His VLR. Kairo's VLR is going to be absolutely slammed after this one, and Maki's is not looking good. 0-8 in round 9. But Raizu and Eternal are going to trade back and forth.
I guess maybe it's like in Sizzle's contract, if you're on this team, you have to have at least one player not get any kills. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to talk to the team owner about that. But
as of right now, total switch up from yesterday, Edu. Total switch up. They were throwing it down yesterday.
You said that I was about to watch the team cook. These guys are getting cooked. They're getting burned on the stove. They're left alone. They're ignored.
They are overheating out. Way out of line. And oh my gosh, the classic jump from Lazy Chop. Oh. Unfortunately, we didn't get like the full look at that. But we all know what happened there. It was the jump right click around the box. We all know what happened, but going into round 10, they do have Thrash back online as well as the Empress, but like, I gotta ask, what is with Reyna coming back into the meta in the double duelist comp? Because normally you'd see a double, if you're gonna run double duelist, you'd normally run double dive, you know, Jet and Raze, Neon Jet, like you'd run a double dive if you're going for a duelist role, especially on Icebox with the verticality. So like, what's the idea behind this Reyna pick?
Reyna on Icebox is actually very solid because there's so many lurk avenues that you can do, and when Reyna lurks, she doesn't take any damage. If she successfully gets that kill, she's at full HP again. That's what makes her powerful. She is unpunished unless her name is
Spike
Kodo.
down
That's
A.
Maki's getting his first kill on the board, shutting down and ulting Reyna with the Sheriff. Look at that.
One
We even
enemy
see
remaining.
another one. But to answer your question, it's because Reyna isn't punished if she manages to succeed in getting that kill.
Ooh, and Cowpie with a nice read there from Eternal, getting back and forth. But hey, I will say, Maki's, I think you're killing the contract here. I think you weren't supposed to get that kill, my friend. But I mean, World trying their best to get that KD. It's not looking very good. If I was in Sizzle Esports right now, I probably would have forfeited already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking right now, this is not your best showcase. Maybe it's because you're up against a team that historically has gone toe-to-toe with some greats in the tier 2 scene. You know, Chosen Ones, I've seen compete over in Mystic. They've competed all over the world. So in the NA scene, they are a higher caliber team than Sizzle Esports, but Sizzle ain't done. They ain't fizzled out yet. They got Maki's in World about to get a double kill, might be able to keep that moving, but the bomb is over to B, and we do have Ryzu wanting to guard that flank, but Calpie could just swing, and he doesn't miss. It's a swing and no miss. Swing and a hit out of the park. Might be able to find another one. Calpie 687. You got this. Can you find another pick?
Ooh, and they're going to be able to on Maki. He's very low HP, but able to find the headshot. Completely shuts it down. New Icebox changes coming into effect here as Mollies are coming out as well. Crazy drop down below, and Rise is going to be both up from behind. 10 and 1. Now going into the
Last
last
round before the switch.
Last round, I will say they're probably pretty happy they're not going to get 13-0'd here. They're not 100. They were able to put a round on there, and now they have the Harbor ready to go. But man, it is not looking good for them. Still, everybody on Sizzle going negative. 9 and 10. World's trying to pick up the KD a little bit on that Gecko, but man, Calpie going 15 and 2 right now. That is some crazy numbers to be working with.
Grenade!
I mean, even though their name's Calpie, they don't play like it. They play absolutely beautiful. Now, let's see if they're going to be able to do it again. Ryzu, another ultimate. This guy's just constantly throwing him out, but look above you. No way. How did he not get 6 feet away?
16 feet away and put him at 1 HP, and Makis is able to spray it through. These guys have some time, and they have some talent. I will give them that, but man, Chosen Ones, they're still able to bring it back.
Oh, wait a minute.
Ooh,
Crazy.
Crazy's cooking. He's cooking. But Lazy Chop, we know he is hot on the frying pan. Kodo able to find Eternal as well. Jumping up on top, didn't realize it. It's over. In World. This is World trying to figure it out, but oh my gosh, the whiff and Kodo. Get out with an Odin
Switching sides.
running rampant Odin. Reyna for the last round. Wow.
Yeah, that's not ideal. I mean, what we just saw, pretty terrifying if I was on the opposite end of this. Calpie, you said 15 and 2. Let's make that 16 and 2. That's an 8.0 KD. 8.0.
Yeah, and also taking into consideration, still has 6 assists. I mean, Lazy Chop going 9 and 4, just over a 2 KD, 2.25 KD, and with 8 assists as well on the Sova. I mean, these, like, they're playing as they should. They may be messing around and they may be having fun, but they are still playing the agents very well. And Calpie is just kind of I think Calpie is entried in about half of these.
Yeah, Calpie has been very aggro. We saw, a few rounds ago, pushing out of his own smoke just to kill World and getting away with it for free. But it's not over. They're going to rotate right into this. But hey, it's a deadlock wall. Yeah, you're not going very far. But Crazy getting one. Might be able to...
The recent buffs to this deadlock wall, man. Like, did they triple the range of the wall?
No way. Yeah, they did. It now kind of spreads to fill out the area now. So it's pretty good on this map. But, oh, what a right click.
What a nice
being
right
able to
click
do
from
it.
Eternal and like nice pick from World as well. I mean, they're already they're up on the man advantage. They got double the players left standing, but make that not anymore because Lazy Chop is just quick with those taps, and Calpie
Last player
very
standing.
quick with it as well. Oh my gosh, it was a 4v2 now, 2-1. Lazy Chop versus Externo right here on this play. Sees him, and it looks like they're just gonna be holding the spike here. Gonna be able to get that defuse off. Gonna going 12-1 and just running away, going to skip shot. It's over.
Oh my God.
And Lazy
Oh.
Chop just kind of goofing around.
Match
Aim
point.
labs and T-Max Calpie.
Calpie deserves that teabag. No one gets away with only 2 deaths in an entire half without needing to be humbled a bit. But
Yeah, you gotta be humbled a little bit. I mean,
yeah,
the VLR
this is-
stats can't be that good.
Yeah, it's not that great, but honestly, what we're looking at here is someone stepping into Calpie the way that they're feeling right now. But I want to say 1 to 12, it's winnable, okay? In another parallel universe where this team has performed better every single day of their life, but winnable.
Definitely winnable. Has potential to win, but is it probable is the question. And I believe the answer to that is almost probably not. Considering all they need is 1 round, and Externo's going to be able to first blood here. Makoto just deep into the side, but Crazy is faster on the trigger.
One enemy remains.
Okay.
Oh, and a nice tap, and oh my gosh, a flawless on an eco
Winnable.
round. Winnable.
Beautifully.
Winnable, 100%.
Take aim.
These guys know how to play. And now, look at this. All of defense is broke. But I do want to remind people, game 1, we did see a team lose to Bucky's.
We did.
This team
We did
lost to a
watch.
Bucky.
But come on, you got to give the people out there what they want. Cairo is not in the. They have Eternal now. That's the thing. They have Eternal.
You're right.
So
they have Eternal.
somebody. They have somebody that has their computer turned on.
They do. They have that stuff. But
And they may not have nearly half the kills that Chosen ones have, but they got spirit. They got it. They got beliefs. They have what they want to believe is a will to survive and a chance to bring it back. So hearing Raizu pop up to the top, Crazy knows. There's the left coming in, and ooh, very aware of it. Maki's well, it picked out by Lazy
Spike
Chop.
down A.
Ooh, World is just nice with it.
they're not done. Look at that.
One
They
enemy
lose the
remaining.
pistol.
Oh!
Unless, hold up. The bomb's going to get planted by default. We have maybe no shock darts remaining on this. Yeah, no shock darts. It's just going to be the sheriff.
Aldrin, though. Yeah, it's just the sheriff from Lazy Chop. 90 HP left for Crazy and like 2 HP left for World. And there's the mosh pit. Winding Crazy with that recon bolt, and oh, just barely missing World right there. There is a chance to bring it back. Lazy Chop does have the ability to make this post play happen. They have the ability to bring it up and finish this game out. World with the same speed.
Last player standing.
Oh my
and
God,
Lazy
wait.
Chop. Oh, but World is going to be able to bring it back, and there's 1 more round.
Winnable. It's winnable.
check. We feeling good?
They're going
Still
to keep it
winnable.
going.
So hope so.
Still cooking. Still cooking. They know what they want, and they're going to give it to us. All right? And that's what I need. I need you to give it to me, okay? These guys are gamers, all right? If you look on the Twitch channel, it says in our tags, pro play. We're finally seeing that. So we're not false advertising. This is some pro play right now, all right?
Yeah, it's
And
taking some pro play to come back from a 1-12, like down 1
Yeah.
and 12. It takes a lot. They've been able to put 2 on the board. They can't give up another one. It is time for them to go, and Chosen One's getting hyper aggressive here. World is going out and able to find 1, maybe 2. Lays Chop backing off, realizes the potential of World right here, but Calpie is just waiting. Whoa, gonna be able to pick off World star player, but Crazy is gonna be able to clap back. Now down to a 3-3. Hunter's free on.
Oh, they're just going to rotate. They're just going to rotate. I mean,
They tap the spike.
Oh,
and the perfect Hunter's Fury.
got
And
it.
able to find Crazy. Done deal, done deal. Lazy Chop knows. He knows the drill.
No, but Kodo deciding that they're using coupon code SOLD, selling the round maybe by pushing up like that. Didn't find any upgraded gun. Instead, decides to walk up with a Bucky. I like the play. But now, 2v2. This is a decent rotate here, Lash. And I think they have enough time to fake it and hit A again.
I mean, it's already pretty much faked out already. They've kind of assumed that they're going to go straight to B site, but looks like we're getting a flank
30
from
seconds
behind.
left.
You'll see that trademark, but it's not online, so you can basically just ignore it. And it looks like they're hitting A right at the moment that the chosen ones are going to be coming back to site. Unfortunate situations, and there come the shock darts coming in. Going to be able to tag. Not going to be tagging Eternal at all and getting some sprays through, but deadlock on site.
Last player
Neo
standing.
Frontier, but External's going to be able to find Lazy Chop.
Oh no, they're gonna walk right into a crosshair. Unless.
Last player standing.
Oh, where are you looking?
Oh, but Eternal clutching up
Nice.
around.
Good job, Eternal. Already proving themselves to be the sub that matters most. 105 ping and still being a consistent player.
105, yeah, like ping kind of going all over the place. At least it's consistent ping. It's great to not have it be jumping around all the time, but man, they actually are finding a way to bring some rounds back into this, and their scoreline is not going to be looking too bad. I mean, especially since last game was, oh man, what was the last 3 to 13, I think.
Yeah, 13-3, 13-3.
I think 13-3. I mean, it's already looking better. It's already one round higher. They do have the Thrash online ready to go, but there's the deadlock wall, and yeah, and there it goes. Thrash coming in. Oh, fine. Deadlock backside, but didn't jump, didn't activate it, and there's Dizzy going right in. Maybe get the wingman out here as well, but everyone from Chosen Ones is on site, and Rising's gonna be able to find 2 before Eternal is able to find a single person. Eternal's like, I gotta back off, and just leaving Externo. Just leaving him in the dust and just meeting up back here in mid. Just going straight towards A site, but Chosen One's on the hunt.
They got this. They're gaming. They're gonna game this out. They're gonna push in. They're gonna do as much damage as humanly possible, and we know that based on how these guys have played, it's not gonna be a concern. But wait, one well-placed shot. I mean, the Viper pit, yeah, it's gonna help them out, but it's Crazy's off that's being
Spike
aggressive
planted.
in the Viper pit. This is a double-edged sword. It's great for doing this, but not when it comes to someone pushing up in close. Oh.
Last player standing.
Yep.
Ooh, but there goes the Viper. There's the Annihilation coming in, barely missing. Could have wrapped around. A lot of noise being made. Crazy, just ready to go. Gonna get
No charges.
maybe tapped behind. Crazy right there, but isn't able to find it. His Lazy Chop is gonna close this out. And Chosen Ones, they take Icebox and they take the series. GG's all around. It was definitely a great try. Unfortunately, Cairo did have to leave. Well, didn't have to, but didn't turn on the PC the first game.
Defenders
I mean, hey, it was great effort, not gonna lie. They were up against a team that historically is the best in the bracket. These guys have a seed high rank. They know what to do. It's a round robin, so eventually you're gonna fight a team that you don't want to verse. But at the end of the day, they did play pretty well. 4 rounds on the board. You know, Maki's taking up the role of someone who doesn't do much. You know, everyone fit into those roles. I think that they had a great idea. It's just they didn't really have the best toolkit to make it work. If those players were playing the meta Icebox Agent Select, if they were playing the correct picks, you know, staying away from these chamber picks. If you had instead a Cypher on Icebox, always so powerful. KJ, especially powerful on this map. You know, being able to work those out. Even Deadlock, huge. Sage, huge. Anything but chamber. Yes, Crazy got a lot of kills with the op, but you don't need to be a chamber to use an op. Anyone can pick up an op. Sentinels especially have a proficiency in those. So, you know, you don't have to lock yourself down with it.
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure, but I think they were going for a little bit of a goofy pick here. I mean, they went Harbor, Gecko, Viper, KO, Chamber. They were not looking to go for anything super serious. I think they knew what they were going into when they loaded into that Agent Select. But looking at the Chosen Ones, looking at their lineup, it looks like Raizu actually went negative on KD, which is surprising enough given the outcome of the score, but 21-7 for Cowpie, only really losing those 4 rounds that Sizzle took right there near the end. That was really where Cowpie kind of fell short. Only, you know, going from an 8 KD down to a 3 KD, but an ACS of 350. That is impressive, especially when you take into account that that Calpie has 0 first bloods. I mean,
Yeah.
that's super impressive. I don't know how many assists Calpie got. Actually, I still have the leaderboard pulled up. 8 assists, and then Lazy Chop got 11 assists as well, getting 274 ACS. These are good numbers that you like to see coming out and being able to put on their page. And I mean, Chosen Ones obviously coming out with the win. They were chosen to just take Sizzle down. There's no question about it. But I mean, it's kind of crazy that whatever picks were going through there. But it seems like we might. Yeah, it looks like we will probably be skipping the interview. It looks like.
Oh, we don't gonna have a nice talk with all these players. And they might. Who knows? Who knows? I don't think the players are actually sticking around to even be in the interview anymore. So that's fine. No interview here for us. But even though we don't get to say hi to the team, obviously I do want to shout out Eternal, proving that coaches can play, jumping in that slot, being able to pick up their teammate. Unfortunate that they had to bench one of their players, but at the end of the day, you know, if you don't perform, well, you don't get to come back. That's the way it works in esports. It's a very competitive industry because it's competitive gaming. Now, with that being said, that is all that we have for today. If you do want to watch more Titans of Tier 3, see more of this very interesting gameplay, make sure that you drop a follow on the Twitch channel. And later in a few hours here at 9 o'clock EST, we have another game that's going to be coming up as well. So look out for that. We still have so many matches. This is an 8-week long round robin group stage, 32 teams all duking it out. So if you want to get your fix for Valorant, well, this is the place to be. So I want to see you guys in this chat. I saw how active you guys were, so we do appreciate all of the community support. But Lash, any final words regarding our cast today?
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was a fun cast. I liked having a little bit of banter and a little bit of glazing of of one team and kind of flaming the other. But you know, things happen, and we have to speak truth on what we are seeing. I mean, there's no way to tiptoe around it. But I mean, as you said, join back into the live stream tonight, 9 p.m. EST. We have Cataclysm Gaming versus Rise Academy, the very own, which I've seen before. Cataclysm Gaming is nothing to scoff at. And Rise Academy also likes to throw down. So if you want an intense match that I'm going to say is probably going to be the closest match today, check that one out, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I think that's all from me. So we appreciate you guys coming out. We love seeing you guys in the Twitch chat. And we will catch you guys another time. See you later.
Bye.
Those medical pills all push me over. I kill my fill 3 times a day. These ethanol fumes won't make me sober.